Hey everybody, it's John back again, and today I'm going to take a look at some Star Wars Black Series figures. It's been a while since I've done any videos on these guys, just because in my area they're extremely hard to find, other than an occasional restocking of one or two figures. And I happened to run into a Jawa and a Tarkin, so finally got my Peter Cushing figure. This is probably the one I'm most excited about, and I've always had a spot in my heart for the Jawas. I don't know what it is about those creepy little things. Maybe it's because they reminded me of the little critters from Phantasm somewhat when I was little, but they came in the standard Star Wars Black Series box. As you can see, there's a little piece of artwork there for each one of them. The Tarkin's definitely a pretty cool figure. He's number 63, Jawa is number 61, and there is the back of the box. Jawas comb the deserts of Tatooine in search of discarded, scrapped, and wayward mechanicals. Using their cobbled together weaponry, they can incapacitate droids and drag them to their treaded fortress homes, immense sand scarred vehicles known as sand crawlers. So there's our little Jawa, and then we got the Grand Moff Tarkin, an ambitious, ruthless proponent of military power. Wilhuff Tarkin became a favorite of the Emperor Palpatine and rose rapidly through the Imperial ranks. And it's cool to finally have a really good figure of this one, since he was pretty much the main villain of the first Star Wars movie. It's just weird that they took forever. But we've got a really good one. Oh, and he's got some glare on his face. And give me a second here, and I'll take him out of the box, and we'll take a closer look and see how these guys turned out. Here we have our two figures out of the packaging, and let's take a look here at the Jawa first. He comes with, in this package, with this looking blunderbuss looking kind of weapon. It's all gunmetal colored and has a little bit of extra paint on it to give it the metallic look. It's pretty cool. And then the Jawa himself, you can see his nice little beady eyes and his wrapped head. He has his hood on, his bandolier, and his gloved hands, and he's pretty much one big solid piece of molded textured plastic, which, you know, it's a Jawa. And then he comes with his little weird kind of ion blaster that they use to short circuit the droids, and it's on a weird cord that looks like it should fit in this hand, but you would probably put it in this one, right? I'm not going to worry about it too much. There's no handle on it, so he can't really how would one hold this? Strange. Well, maybe it'll just go into his holster. Anyway, his head still does rotate. No, well, it can look down a little bit, but because of the way it's sculpted, that's really all you're going to get. Then he does have your standard shoulder articulation. Looks like he's got a single jointed elbow there, and he's got a wrist swivel and hinge, which is nice. There is more to him under here. But you can't really get to it. I did see, I think it was Mr. Robo there. Oh, he does have a waist swivel outside of it. Cut this open to be able to get a little bit more use out of his legs, or so you could see them, but they are sculpted underneath there. I think he's pretty neat. There's my original Jawa, which I am blown away still has survived this long, being as little as he is and as played with as he was, survived. So that is my the Jawa here. They did a good job on the texturing of him. Can this fit in here even? I mean, it's so floppy. Even if I get it in there, I don't think I'll ever get it out. Can we put it in maybe this way? It looks terrible, but that's probably where that's going to sit, because it doesn't have a handle on it. And then this thing, what kind of guns can't you even hang on to? I mean, he could probably hang on to it strangely like this. Maybe he just uses it as a warning because they do barter deals, so maybe he doesn't plan on actually using it as a weapon. His wrist gets in the way. There, that's probably how he's going to hang out. Stand up. And then we got Tarkin, but before then, we have his little droid unit, the interrogation bot. That was quite the terrifying thing when I was a kid. And if you can see here, he's got a lot of nice little details. There's some little blinking red, or well, they're not really lights, but you know, they could be lights. And various little torture devices attached to it, and it comes on a cool little floater stand. Very nice touch. I'm glad they stuck that in there, because other than that, Tarkin doesn't come with anything. But you do get a pretty close likeness of Mr. Cushing. Definitely one of my favorite actors, and in most of my favorite horror movies. But they did a pretty good job of his likeness. And then you can see we have all of his badges and different little pin works. His belt. He's a pretty basic officer character, which is very cool. I can see a lot of people customizing these things. His hands seem huge to me. Maybe, I don't know. His hands look really big, but he has pretty good head rotation. He can look up a little bit, down a little bit. Man, he's got quite a bit of posing potential. He's a cool figure. Nice shoulders go around, and they're hinged, of course. And looks like he's got a single elbow. And he has rotating and hinged wrists. And a waist swivel and a little bit, just a little bit of an ab crunch, not a whole lot going on. And then can still get his hips out pretty good. They do have a cut here. Can't get out fully. Well, you can do some weird little movements with that. He does have upper thigh swivel. He has double jointed knees, which is always a plus. No boot cut, which is weird. That would have been kind of nice. And then he has hinged and rocker feet, which is good. Nice, pretty huge range of range of motion on those rockers. Makes him look like he's got a broken ankle. And that's the Tarkin. I don't have any other Tarkins. I don't know where that came from, but or of the vintage or classic or any other legend line that they have done. This is my first Tarkin figure, and I think he's going to look pretty good on the shelf next to Vader. And the Jawa is a lot of fun, so I'm glad I just happened to randomly see him sitting on a shelf. Where was I at? I think it was at a Myers. Just happened to be, actually he was sitting with the Power Rangers, so I was surprised to see him. But man, Tarkin's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll keep this one short. Seems like the shorter the better for most of the videos. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll have more coming soon. And get yourself a Tarkin if you find him. It's a very good likeness of Peter Cushing. The eyes are really good. The more I look at it, the more I like it. So see you guys around. Bye.
Thank you.